Hello everybody. I have gotten myself one of the new Beyond Light exotics, the Dawn Chorus helmet for the Warlocks, and I figured that I'd make a pretty quick video going over some damage numbers and some general gameplay stuff for the exotic because I think it's pretty badass. The exotic perk on this helmet is Rites of Ember. Your daybreak projectiles cause targets to burn on contact and deal more damage to them. All of your burn effects last longer, and you gain a small amount of melee energy each time one of your burns damages a target. We will talk about the first sentence a little bit later, because it can be a little bit unclear about what it means, but it should become pretty apparent pretty quickly. Now, for where you can actually get your hands on these new exotics, they're all going to drop from these new Legend and Master Lost sectors, which can be found on, right now, Cosmodrome and Europa. They rotate daily, so just check back on which exotics are available and you should be good. So, now we should actually do some controls so we know what our frame of reference is. So, here's top tree dawnblade, and with your super you hit for these two numbers normally with a direct hit, which adds up to 20,555 per dawnblade hit. Doing the same thing for bottom tree here. Now we're going to hit for 3 numbers instead of 2 because of the perk. And if you add those all together, we get 27,397 per hit on bottom tree. So, if we want to actually get a scope of how much damage per second these supers are doing, we need to figure out exactly how long it takes to throw off all of our super and how many dawnblade projectiles we throw. As you can see, we throw 8 over the span of 5.73 seconds, which is pretty quick. But it's not that great. 164,440 is not good, especially like for top tree. Bottom tree is a little bit better, but it's not amazing. Top tree does less DPS than some special weapons, and bottom tree is actually between special and heavy, but that's not really what you want your super to be doing, right? Okay, now actually using the helmet here. We're going to see that I'm going to throw my first dawnblade, and it's actually not going to do the increased damage that it comes from the helmet. And this comes from the fact that the target doesn't take the additional dawnblade damage until they're burning due to the dawnblade hit. And so what that means is that our first hit isn't going to do that increased damage, but all the others will. And so with those two numbers, we can see that our top tree goes up to this number, which is a 45% increase in damage over the non-buffed version. And if we do the same thing with bottom tree, we have to get the burning to actually go, and then we start doing the increased damage. We hit for, it's kind of hard to see, but we hit for 3 numbers, and it's actually less of an increase in top tree. We see 35% versus 45%. And so I think this was to balance it and not make bottom tree do 60,000 DPS. But if you look at our total damage here, it's going to be a lot better than it was before. And that bottom tree total damage is more than Celestial Nighthawk, which is really, really good. And our DPS is competitive across the board. 50,000 DPS is more than Falling Guillotine after the nerf. And so I'm going to talk here for a little bit about the last stuff while a strike plays in the background. So this helmet is pretty dang good. It actually makes top tree useful in PvE, which is one of the main things that I hated about top tree. Is I love using Icarus Dash, but I can't stand my super being completely useless. So this helmet actually mitigates that a lot. A 45% increase to your super is massive. Also, as you can see in the gameplay behind me, the neutral game is actually pretty good too because of how long stuff burns due to the burn increase. When you hit something with either a solar nade or your melee on bottom tree, normally you would burn something for 5 ticks. Now it burns for 15. That's 3 times longer on the burn, which is an insane amount of time. That's 15 ticks to restore your melee. And if you have enough strength on bottom tree, if you punch something and it doesn't die to the burn in that entire time, it will give you your melee back. That's how much super energy you're getting from this. There's also a lot more synergy with bottom tree in the fact that your super will ignite enemies, and enemies that die while ignited on bottom tree will explode. And when they explode, they ignite other enemies, and so it's a massive chain reaction. One throw from your dawnblade in super can completely wipe out an entire group of ads. So it not only makes dawnblade good for ad clear, which it already kind of was alright for ad clear, it makes it better, but it also gives you a DPS option versus bosses or ultras during a strike or anything like that. I'm not sure how it will be competitive in GMs and stuff like that, but that's something we'll have to wait to see. Overall, if you guys enjoyed the video, thank you for watching. I'd really appreciate it if you guys subscribed. I'm going to be doing more videos like this on hopefully all the other exotics as they come out. Look for one on Mask Backrest for hunters. It's going to be a little bit shorter than this one, but it should be pretty interesting because of a certain perk on that helmet. That said, that's it for me. I'll see you guys around.